If you loved the Mind Diet last week, you're going to love this. I'm Gene Zanetti, your coast-to-coast mindset coach. Welcome back to Mindset Monday. First of all, make sure you get a hard copy of your book, Building the Predator Mindset. If you don't have this book, you are missing out. Get ahead of your competition, get the mental edge. So make sure you grab that book. We'll have a link underneath the video. Next, if you really liked our Mind Diet, we got a lot of great feedback. Thank you very much. You're going to love this, the body language diet. Okay, so from now on, for the next 30 days, after this month is over, we got another thing. Hopefully you start incorporating these things right away. And the idea is for it not to be only 30 days, but something you carry with you for the rest of your life. So the body language diet. Okay, how you can improve your body language. Why is body language important? The fastest and simplest way to change the way you feel is to change the way you're moving. If you don't feel confident, you act confident. If you're not happy, you act happy. They've done studies with this where they found people's happiness actually improved just by laughing, just by smiling. Now, that's not going to take you out of, like, if you're in a real low area of sadness or depression, it's not going to all of a sudden make you perfectly happy. But it'll raise your level. If it was on a scale of 0 to 100, if right now your happiness is at a 55, that'd be able to bring you up to a 70 by just changing your body language. Also, I heard that if you're trying to change someone's mind, if someone's feet are stuck in the mud, and they're not changing, they're pretty inflexible, the simplest thing you could do is get them moving. So if they're sitting down, get them standing. If they're standing, get them sitting down. In other words, people tend to get stuck with wherever they're at in their body language. So if someone's saying no to something, if you're trying to get someone to agree with you and they're sitting down, get them to stand up and start walking. And then people tend to open up more. Or if they're walking, get them to sit down and then talk about it again. Okay, so changing the way we move. The fastest way to change the way we move, the fastest way to change the way we feel is to change the way we move. Okay, so here it is, the 30-day body language diet. So first, with any diet, there's always going to be some foods that we're fasting from. Okay, so what are the body language behaviors that we're going to fast from? Looking down, dragging your feet, or slouching. This is something that's very common. A lot of times we're walking around the street, our head is down. That's bad technique in any sport. Just about any sport. I guess golf, your head has to be down. But almost every sport, if your head is down, that's bad technique. You're likely to bump into things when you're walking around. You're not aware of your surroundings. It's no good. So your head is up. Stop slouching. A lot of people have very poor shoulder mobility, not the least of which being myself. And a lot of times we slouch or we're leaning back too much. Okay, so for 30 days, no looking down. You can look down, but don't walk with your head down. Don't drag your feet. A lot of people are just dragging their feet when they're moving. And no slouching. I have it all written down on my phone. You're going to get a copy of this. We're going to post it out there. Number 2, what we're fasting from. No groaning, sighing, or turning to your phone while in the presence of other people. So now there's always some exceptions to this rule. Like the phone might be ringing, it might be your parent or someone who needs you. You might have to get your phone. But most of the time when you're around other people, let's put our phone down. For this month, for 30 days only, let's put our phone down when we're in front of other people. Unless you know if someone needs to reach out to you when you're eating a meal with your family. First of all, you should be getting back to family dinners. Everyone should be sitting down for a family meal. Okay, that's a separate topic, but we should be doing that. Make sure you put the phone away when you're sitting down for the meal, even for that little time, right, with few exceptions. So make sure, and sighing. A lot of times we're just out of nowhere, or we're around other people, or even if we're just by ourselves. Oh, boy. And then what happens? Then I start feeling tired. I'm not saying you're not going to ever feel tired. Of course you're going to feel tired sometimes. Just get in the habit of don't sigh. See what that does for you. You're going to act more awake. You're probably going to be more awake. So let's not sigh. Groaning, right? A lot of times we groan. Oh, boy. I'm guilty of that. Okay? Get in the habit for 30 days not doing that. Let's see what happens. Just run it as a test, just an experiment. What's going to happen? Okay, number 3, no spitting, no nail biting, and no picking things from parts of your body. Okay, so if you're prone to, like a lot of times I'll play with my cauliflower ear, I'll play with that sometimes. This kind of go along the lines with picking. You could pick your nose, you pick your ears, that kind of stuff. Don't do it for a month, right? Grab a tissue. Okay, we all have certain habits. Maybe it's spitting. A lot of guys, I see this, they spit a lot when they're walking around in the streets. for 30 days. Don't do it. Just see what it does, right? Build some self-control, build some moderation, build some temperance. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm sure you'll see some kind of impact in your life. Next, fasting from interrupting people, violating other people's personal space, using vulgar gestures. Stop interrupting. Let other people finish speaking. Don't violate people's personal space. Everyone gets a 2-foot bubble. You probably heard about this. I think I learned about this in, I think it was maybe a sociology class. Maybe it was psychology back when I was a senior in high school. Was I a senior? Yeah, I was a senior. And everyone has a 2-foot bubble. Give people the 2-foot bubble. Right? And then finally, what was the last one? Using vulgar gestures, whether it's giving the middle finger or just doing things that are obscene. A lot of times, it's either we're mad at someone, maybe while we're driving, you flip someone off, or you're trying to make your friends laugh, you make a vulgar gesture, some kind of sexual gesture. Don't do it, okay? A lot of that stuff that violates our faith and morals. And also, if we're driving, have some patience. You don't need to flip the person off. In fact, it might even be your fault, right? Or maybe the next time it's going to be your fault. So just abstain for that for 30 days. You really should be abstaining for that forever. But see how it goes with 30 days. Next, exaggerating, this we're fasting from, exaggerating your cough, sneeze, or yawn. How many times, I'm guilty of this a lot in my family, not my family, not my wife, but the family I grew up with, sometimes me, my dad, my brothers will let out a real loud sneeze or a yawn, an overly exaggerated yawn. Don't do that, okay? Again, I think what's happening, when we do that, I think it brings us down. It brings the whole energy down in ourselves. Also, it could be annoying to other people, right? Letting out too loud. Okay, if you have to cough, you cough. But there's a difference between being obnoxious about it. So when we do things, or we're making certain sounds, just being aware of it, just for 30 days, see how it goes. And then finally, we're going to fast from appearing fatigued during our workouts. So when you're lifting weights, when you're exercising, don't text or don't tweet in between sets. Don't go on social media in between sets. Just be and also don't sit down in between sets. We weren't allowed to do that in college. Our strength coach would have chewed us out if we sat down. Midway through a lift. So let's try that. 30 days. See how it goes. Next, healthy substitutions. Better posture. Keep your head up as much as possible. As we said before, that's the opposite of not keeping your head down. Pick up your feet, stand up straight. Use open body language. So when you're speaking to people, don't cross yourself up. Now I know it's winter months, so we get cold, but for 30 days, stand with your arms open. Or if you're going to touch, steepling, this is a sign of supreme confidence. You see a lot of politicians do this, and in movies a lot of times they're like this. They know that this is a sign of good body language. So you could steeple, but don't crossing your hands, folding your arms, folding our arms over us, keeping our legs real close together. We're almost apologizing for the space we're taking up. I'm not saying you have to be like crazy, like slouched back or anything, but I mean, practice having more open body language. Don't touch yourself. Okay, we do this a lot. Now it's different if you had an itch, right? And again, you got to make sure it's appropriate. Like you can't just itch anywhere whenever you feel like it. But within reason, a lot of times when we get nervous and we're speaking to people, we start messing with our hair, right? You see this a lot with girls. Guys do it too, right? We start touching ourselves while we're speaking, or we start kind of swaying around, right? Or if we're holding a drink in our hand, we start, whatever. We start like moving it around, or we start like playing with the straw, anything like that. You don't need to do that. Stay still. Okay, stay still. Less movement, unless you need to, right? Next, instead of walking, and again, there's exceptions to this. Maybe you're dressed up, so you can't do this. But if you're not dressed up and you're walking somewhere, jog. Why not jog? Burn a few extra calories and practice moving on a hop. Again, there's always appropriate situations. You're not going to be doing this into church. You're not going to be doing this if you're dressed up, or if you're carrying something, you're not going to be able to do it. But if you're just walking, pick it up a little bit. Walk at a jog and see how that goes. Walk at a jog. That's those different things. So jog instead of walk. While you're working out, act more energetic. While you're working, act more energetic. Be more positive to people. Are there good actions that you could substitute in this month? Say hello to people that you pass. Smile at people you pass by. Life tends to be a mere reflection of what you give to the world. So if you're wondering why most people around you seem miserable, you're probably a miserable person. Okay? If you tend to feel like a lot of people are pretty happy and overall pretty friendly, you're probably a pretty friendly person. Now, again, all of us struggle with one or more of these different areas. If this isn't you, if this is not the way you normally are, if you don't normally smile, if you don't normally say hello to people, try it for 30 days. See how it goes. You might like the result. We have to be willing to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Okay, next, chew with our mouth closed. Right? Don't talk and eat at the same time. Don't talk and chew at the same time. I could be guilty of that, obviously, being a talker. So that'll be a tough one for me. Put down your phone while speaking to others and during meals. We said that before. Be mindful of other people's personal space. Be more enthusiastic and positive. And be chaste. Okay? If we're not married, we shouldn't be doing anything sexually. Okay? This is stuff that slows us down. Think about how much time is wasted. I mean, be honest. Be real. Look around. See how people act. See how you are with the way you are personally, yourself, right? The more times you're thinking, doing something sexual, the more time, number one, you're violating faith and morals, and two, you're not focused on your goals. Okay? There's a time and a place for sexual activity. Be chaste. Keep your body pure. And we look at relationships all the time. People are tired of being played. People are tired of being used. People are tired of being cheated on. Well, guess what? That's what happens if we're not chaste. Those are direct results of not being chaste. Being used, being played, it all being a game, and people get hurt. And you waste time. Okay, so on top of it just being morally wrong, you waste a lot of time that you could have put towards your goals, being better, and actually helping other people. Being protectors of one another. That's what we want to do. The goal is to love everyone around us, not to use people around us. People are subjects, okay? The book is an object. The pencil is an object. The phone is an object. People are subjects. So when we respect other people, we love other people, we don't do things just because it's going to make us feel good temporarily. Okay? So be chaste. 30 days if you have to. Just see how it goes. So again, all these different areas for body language diet. 30 days. It's going to step outside of your comfort zone. Each one of those areas, each one of those points that I made, they're different struggles for different people. Give it a go. Don't just tune out. Don't just tune it out. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone, and I think you'll be surprised how much this could change you for the rest of your life. Remember, it takes between 21 and 28 days to form a habit. If you could do this for 30 days, your life might change drastically for the better. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. Again, make sure you get a copy of our Predator Mindset hardcover book. Not hardcover, hard copy. A lot of great information talking about the difference between the predator and the prey mindset. And get in touch with us. We're happy to do a free trial with either your athlete or your team. We believe in what we do. And we know that if we came in, you give us a chance, you're going to really like what you're seeing. We are loaded with information, work with some of the top teams in the country, some of the top individuals in the country, from youth all the way through the Olympic team and professional athletes. We're happy to help you. Give it a shot. Get a hold of us. Take care. We'll see you next week. Mindset Monday. I'm Gene Zanetti, your coast-to-coast mindset coach from Winning Mindset. Take care.